Well, let's now hear from Ambassador Daniel Foote. He's a retired U.S. diplomat and was the former Special Envoy, the U.S. Special Envoy for Haiti from July to September back in 2021. He joins us now from New York. Ambassador, we just heard there the U.S. clarifying its position. It was being widely reported earlier in the day that Washington was demanding that Henry step down. The White House says that's not the case. So what are the White House's priorities right now as you would see them?
I think the White House is confused, and stability is always their priority in Haiti. But by backing the illegitimate de facto prime minister, which the U.S. anointed shortly after the assassination, which led to my resignation, the U.S. has put Haiti in a difficult position at this point in time. Even if the U.S., with that blah, blah press conference by the spokesperson today, it's not up to the United States. And they have been asking Ariel Henry for 2.5 years to form a transition government and to have a dialogue with civil society and opposition, and he's refused to do so. So at this point, in the past week, the protests in Haiti have turned into an all-out revolution, and you have the elites aligned with the oligarchs, aligned with the former army guys, aligned with the gangs. Everybody wants this guy gone, but by waiting so long, and the U.S. is still looks like they want him to go back there. The issue is, if he goes back there, he's not going to survive. And I don't mean as prime minister. He will not live through the month if he goes back there. So the United States really should scratch his head and figure out what is the right thing to do for Haiti. It's not Ariel Henry.
Ambassador, when you resigned in 2021, then you said, and I quote you here, you said, Haitians need the opportunity to chart their own course without international puppeteering and favored candidates, but with genuine support for that course. Do you view this then as that opportunity? Just how much agency do Haitians actually have, given the state of gang violence on the streets at the moment?
At this point, the United States and international community has rushed into Haiti a number of times, 6+ in the last 107 years. And each time they have failed to stabilize the place, and it has gotten worse by an order of magnitude. Haiti is horrendous right now. If it wasn't for the death and suffering, it would make a great thriller movie here. But you have Ariel Henry, who desperately needs to stay in power because he's a suspect in the assassination of Jovenel Moise. And he'll do anything to maintain that, but I don't think he wants to go back and be torn limb from limb like the last Haitian president who was assassinated, Guillaume Sam, in 1915.
Well, let me ask you then, you say that so many different parts of Haitian society have come together and they want Henry gone. What then do Haitians want? What do they want to replace him with? Are they united on that front?
Well, they're not, because the United States hasn't enabled them to do so, because they've been holding their boot on Haitians' neck and forcing Ariel Henry on them, despite all the negatives and the fact that he hasn't accomplished anything. There was, starting 6 months before the assassination of Jovenel Moise, a civil society opposition political effort to reach a consensus political agreement because Haiti was already going in the wrong direction. 2 years ago, 6 months after the assassination, in my estimation, that accord called the Montana Agreement reached a broad enough consensus to govern Haiti with an 80% of the population being represented. I believe the Haitians will arrive at a similar agreement. Might not necessarily be the same one because it's complicated by gangs and former army guys in the middle of it now. But I believe that they will find a consensus political accord within 4 to 8 weeks. And then you will have a path for a transitional government, a roadmap, and not imposed by the international community, because we know from experience that imposing puppets on the Haitians doesn't work. And we need to finally let the Haitians reach full independence 220 years after they became independent from France, because we, the international community, have never let them sovereignly decide what they want and have a government reach a social contract with its population.
Ambassador, let me ask you about the practicalities of that. 4 to 8 weeks is not a long time. You were on the ground in Haiti. You've talked about how the humanitarian situation has deteriorated since you left. What we're seeing now, I mean, there are reports that gangs have now formed coalitions. Obviously, there's been huge amounts of violence in the streets, people scared to leave their homes. How realistic is actually trying to implement some kind of a free and fair electoral process right now?
Well, this is nothing new. This has been going on for 2.5 years. So it's not like we just woke up and Haiti blew up yesterday. It's been like this for 2.5 years. The prison break and the gangs closing the airport were direct messages to Ariel Henry here. I think that we need to let the Haitians get it right for a chance. We weren't concerned about rushing in as the international community 2 weeks ago when it was equally bad and urgent. So now, rather than rush to failure with another puppet government, the international community should be thinking about a peacekeeping intervention, a professional one, but they need to let the Haitians tell them what they want, or it will fail again.
Ambassador, you talk about peacekeepers. The UN Security Council mandated a force to be deployed back in October. We've seen delays and Kenyan troops getting on the ground, I understand, though some other countries have pledged troops too. Would the US ever put boots on the ground?
If the US or England or Germany or France or Britain or the EU do not lead such a mission, it'll fail. You can't ask the Kenyans to do it. They can't keep Nairobi safe, for crying out loud. Bangladesh, Chad, Barbados, wonderful. It's a great money-making opportunity for the countries. But to be successful, any intervention needs to be led by a country who is good at creating police and security capacity, not an unproven third world country.
Well, clearly it's an incredibly critical point at the moment for Haiti. Thank you so much, Ambassador Daniel Foote, a former Special US Envoy for Haiti, joining us here on Al Jazeera. Thank you for your time, sir.
Thanks for having me.